Probably, if you watch any TV, you're hearing about it a lot right now. Says politicians, market researchers, and manufacturers are interested in the true public opinion. Yet, in most cases, surveying the entire population is unreasonable. Thus, a random sample is used to estimate the true proportion. The margin of error shows the wiggle room. How much you can go higher, how much you can go lower. Okay? Notice the margin of error on this poll. These are the three people that are running for governor of the state of Indiana. Jennifer McCormick, Mike Braun, and Donald Rainwater.
His name is Rainwater.
Rainwater. Notice the margin of error. So right here, Jennifer McCormick had 39% of the votes. 42% of the voters said they would vote for Mike Braun. 9% of the voters said they would vote for Donald Rainwater, and 13.3% were still undecided. The margin of error is plus or minus 3%. So, what are some possible results within the margin of error for Jennifer McCormick? How high could her percentage be?
42.
Yeah, her high could be 42%. And what would her low be? 36%. Okay. What about Mike Braun? What would be his high? 45%. And his low? 39%. How about Donald Rainwater? 12%. Down to 6%. So, if we took the high for Jennifer McCormick, let's say hers were 3% higher, she would be at 42. If that 3% went high for her and down for Mike Braun, she would have the lead. Okay? So that's when they say it's a really tight race because there is a margin of error. Yes?
How do you find the margin of error?
That I don't know.
Because when I think of margin of error, the first thing that will pop into my head is that 13.3 undecided people.
Well, that's not the margin of error.
I know it's not the margin of error, but in my head it would make sense for that to be like, oh yeah, 13.3% of people could vote for Jennifer McCormick.
Right. And they say they're undecided. And here's the other thing. I mean, when people call and if they call you up for a survey, do you always answer truthfully on the phone?
No.
So that's kind of probably part of the margin of error. Okay. If somebody stops you and said, hey, who are you going to vote for? You know, people don't always want to tell the truth on those things. I don't know why they wouldn't. But those are the margins of error. I'll see if I can figure that out. I would guess, because we haven't ever gone through it, it might be a little complicated. That would be my guess. Okay, now turn to page 110. So we are going to do a little experiment to check out some of these companies' claims. Now, we were going to use M&Ms, but some people are allergic to peanuts. So we are going to use Skittles. Do you know how many colors there are for Skittles?
At least 2.
Taste the rainbow. There are 5. The manufacturer of Skittles claims there are equal numbers of each of the colors: red, orange, yellow, green, and purple. So, what percent of each color should we expect? Right. If there's 100% divided by the 5 colors, and if they're all the same, we would expect that each one is 20%. So I am going to give each of you a sample of Skittles. I want you to calculate the percentage of purple Skittles and red Skittles. Okay? Now, how do we find the percent from a sample that I'm giving you? How do I find the percent of purple Skittles and red Skittles? We have to know this before you can calculate it. How do I find the percentage of purple Skittles and red Skittles?
Well, you have to figure out how many Skittles you have in total.
Okay, yes, you have to find the total number of Skittles in your sample. And what else do you need to find?
The number of each individual color.
You need to find the total number of your purple Skittles. And you need to find the total number of your red Skittles.
Are there only red and purple Skittles in this?
No, we're only going to do it for red and purple though, because I think that's all we'll have time for.
Okay.
So what you do is once you have that total number, that goes on the bottom, and then your number of purple goes on the top. And when you take the top, which is your purple, divided by the total, that gives you a decimal, and you change your decimal to a percentage, okay? All right, so can I have someone help me in passing out just the paper towels, to give each person like an individual paper towel?